discovered a secret connection between a 1997 Simpsons archived episode and the 2026 Great Reset that everybody out there on social media has been talking about. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on everything. But for those of you just joining this investigation, you need to understand this isn't just about a cartoon. We're looking at a 38-year blueprint of social engineering that has accurately predicted some of the world's biggest events, from global pandemics, Donald Trump's presidency, to the exact rise of digital currencies. And right now, as the markets are bleeding and the old system is breaking, the most important prediction they ever released is about to trigger. And in this video, I'm going to reveal several hidden predictions that most people laughed off as just a joke, but when you run one of them through modern predictive AI, it points to a total wealth migration in April. Now, I'm not here to tell you that the world is ending or the moon mission is going to happen on April 1st. I'm here to show you that April of 2026 could very well be the hard-coded gateway, which is a point of no return for the global financial architecture that they're laying out. And while most of the world is looking at a cartoon for entertainment, the global banking elite are looking at a calendar for execution. So the Easter egg I'm going to show you, it isn't just a random clip. It aligns perfectly with the deadline that the world's biggest banks have been quietly preparing for behind closed doors for over a decade. But if you think that that's just a coincidence, you have to see the math here, because before we look at the technical receipts, we have to talk about the language that the elite use. The elite communicate through what's called gematria. Now, before we break out the tinfoil hats here, you have to understand that gematria, it isn't magic, it's mathematical ciphers. In ancient Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, there were no separate symbols for numbers. Every letter was a number, and this means for thousands of years, the elite, the architects, and even modern cryptographers at the NSA, the National Security Agency, have used this alphanumeric language to hide their plans in plain sight, and I'll prove it to you in a second. Because we don't guess about the future here. We're decoding the manual that the globalists are using to build the new financial system. And if you want to know what they are planning, you have to stop reading the headlines and start listening to what they're saying that goes much deeper than the surface.
I do it? No.
I guess we'll never know.
Which is a cryptographic hash function created by the National Security Agency, the NSA. Well, do you want to know who worked for the NSA previously? Ripple CTO, David Schwartz. And when you plug in David Schwartz into the gematria calculator, it reveals God's secret plan, flip the switch, and XRP one world currency. Now, if we look at what the roadmap is saying comes next, according to the official Bank of England and ISO 222 standards, April of 2026 is the mandatory gateway. On the website, it says, for the November 2026 ISO changes, we are sharing 3 documents which set out the changes for different groups of real-time gross settlement participants. And we expect to publish the final list of changes in April of 2026. Now, this is the month the Bank of England officially publishes the final technical blueprints for the most aggressive phase of the reset. And the elite, they are locking the vault doors. They've mandated that by November of 2026, the legacy banking system will only allow transactions that are fully tracked, structured, and monitored. And April is the manual handover. It's the month they give the banks the final blueprint on how to wall off the old world. So if you're still trying to figure this out on your own, when that gateway closes, you aren't just late, you're heading straight into a financial dead zone. And this dead zone is where the do-it-yourself investors end up, the ones who think that they can outsmart a multi-trillion-dollar transition with YouTube rumors or their own Twitter research. It's a state where your wealth is stuck on the old failing rails, but you don't have the technical keys to move it into the new private infrastructure. So you're trapped inside their digital dome, an ISO-compliant cage where they control the off-ramps and the on switch. We show you how to build your own private, self-sovereign vault using the same protocols that the world's wealthiest families use to stay outside the dome and become their own banks. And if you want to stop being a spectator and start being an insider before the gateway closes, then watch that training and apply to work with my team today. We only have room for a few dedicated professionals to maintain the level of elite quality that we provide.